Hello and welcome everybody and happy
Hey, everybody.
I'm just doing a TikTok thing for this. Hang on. The
A TikTok thing.
radio show. Right. And post a feed. Done. Right.
Noreen.
Yes. Move your stinky ass over there. Right. Yes. Happy New Year, everybody. It's nice to be back. Let's just put the chat on. Let's do that. Right, there you go. Hi, Noreen. Hi, everybody else. And hi, everybody out there watching this in various different formats.
I like this platform because I get the chat comments come up underneath.
Yeah. Yeah. And you like everything underneath. How the very devil are we? And well, I'd like to say one thing. Congratulations to Josh. He started college today for his motorbike mechanics and customizing degree and everything. Well done. So,
Thank you.
Good on you. And hi, Eric. So, yeah, how the very devil's everybody been? Good Christmas, New Year. What'd you do?
Nothing.
Well, we saw
Yep,
you just
nothing.
didn't we?
Typical Christmassy stuff. I've filled my face full of Christmas food, unwrapped a few presents, and that was it, really.
Did you fart at everybody?
No, I didn't have many sprouts.
Well, this is the only guy I know who's farted in the car and made my missus gag who was sat in the back seat.
Someone on medication in the glove.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, we found her medication in our glove box.
What? Rachel's?
Yeah.
Which ones?
Oh, yeah. I don't know, but it was under a previous name.
I shall be seeing her in a minute, in a little bit after the show, saying, "Guess where you?"
One minute.
Okay.
We won't say it on air, but Ellen will get them, and we'll send a picture through to.
Yeah. That'd be good.
But yeah,
I've got some. I don't know where it's gone, and I'm like, "Have you searched the car? Have you looked in our car? Is it in the car?" Hey, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Hey, Glenn.
Yeah, but no, we didn't really get up to much. I did my last paranormal event on the 14th of December at the Red Lion, and then that was it. Everything shut down, and then it was all waiting for New Year. And even on New Year, we just sat here. We watched Big Ben chime, watched the fireworks, and then went to bed. That was
So
it.
you watched Big Ben chime and watched the fireworks and went to bed. That's actually his code phrase for their naughty time. So just
I will send you a picture on WhatsApp now.
a picture of
What?
She's going to send a picture.
I don't want to see Wayne.
You're going to send a picture of it on WhatsApp. We don't do dick pics. All right.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see your dick, Wayne. You know?
You have to go to their special website.
We've all hit that age where you need a good Zoom. Anyway.
After the weather we've had down here, you're right.
Fucking tell me about it. So what have you been up to, Josh?
I'm doing good. Like I said, I just started college. I've had a few episodes since the new year, so go check them out. Got to do
How did your
interview
interview
somebody from Pennsylvania. Great. I think going really good. Just
You can't
somebody
find
from your side of the pond.
No, we don't go live on TikTok, Eric. We go live on Facebook and YouTube. We don't actually go out live on TikTok.
We're just promoting it on TikTok.
Yeah, I haven't figured
We
that out.
We can. It's a little messing around. It'd be a lot easier if we were like next to each other. We'll figure it out one day.
Yeah, we'll see. Thank you, Willow. Hey, yeah.
Unlike me, Christmas
Also,
Eve, I had one device. I had one device on Facebook and one device on TikTok, and I was running off both feeds at the same time. It was quite interesting.
Either Josh is frozen or he's had some fantastic brownies. Because every time I look at him, he's like,
I'm moving. Whoa. Am I frozen for everybody else?
You're frozen, mate. Your screen's frozen.
In a bit of ventriloquism there as well.
Hey, Randy. You're right, mate.
I'll come back. Should I go out?
Yeah, you keep
Am I back?
Mark and
I don't know. It's good on my end.
Oh, there you go. He's back. That's because Mark and Wayne have to figure it out, Josh.
He's here. Well, it was. Where's he gone?
What?
It's-
Oh, and I had a
Sorry.
tooth out a couple of days ago. Yeah, I had a tooth.
And Happy New Year.
So, yeah. We had all the family down. We had all my kids and grandchildren here for Christmas and a New Year. Me and the missus went out and got very merry and saw in the New Year down by the beach. So, and watched all the fireworks go off, and that was good.
Hey, down on the beach, eh?
Yeah. And she gave me a lightsaber for Christmas, as I showed you. I'm not going to put it on here because it's disgusting. But she gave me a lightsaber for Christmas. Back at the end, and it goes. So yeah. So anyway, right, moving on. What do you guys? I'm going to get a kicking from Mark Manley. So, what do you guys think of everything that's going on at the moment? UAPs and fires and all sorts of things.
How do you say it by you guys? Bollocks?
Sorry, you were saying?
I said, how do you say it over in England? Bollocks? I believe is the term.
Bollocks. That's how you say it. Bollocks. The fires, the fires in LA.
Well, the fires are happening. I mean, there's always fires in LA, but it's really, really bad this year.
Well, the thing is that, as we were both talking about yesterday, weren't we? The fires in LA. What you guys may or may not know there is the government or whatever it is that runs LA have decided they want to build a smart city. Now, this was decided a couple of years ago, and they needed a certain area of LA cleared to be able to build this smart city. Now, this isn't necessarily our own opinions. This is just what I've read on the internet. Just putting that one on there. And then last year, they were asked if they wanted some water to fill up their reservoirs for fire stations and everything. And the mayor or whatever it is that runs or governor that runs LA went, no, we don't need any water, when they only had 20% of water or less. And they kept saying, you need some water, we'll give it to you. And they were like, no. Trump even asked them a couple of years ago when he was still in power,
Yeah.
water and we'll put it in for you. And he went, no, don't need any water, but you've only got 20% water. No, we're fine. And then all of a sudden these fires happen and wipe out completely all the places in that part of LA where, look, they need that land for the smart city. For part of the smart city to be built. Now, again, this is not our own opinions. This is what's out there on the internet. All you got to do is Google it, and you can find it. But all I'm going to say is coincidence.
Let's not forget from the Diddy Mansion also, which has been under investigation, burnt down.
Yeah, I read that one today. I read that one today that P. Diddy's mansion got burnt down, and so did a lot of the places where a lot of the evidence is supposed to have been. And it's like,
yeah, a lot of the people that were connected to the case, their houses were in that area that went up in smoke. But also, another funny thing, while this was all going on, where was the mayor of LA? She was in Ghana. And they collared her. They caught her when she came back to LA. She landed at LAX and they collared her. They grabbed her. As soon as she came through into the arrivals, the press was there waiting for her. And they asked her, how did she feel that she was off at Ghana doing whatever while her city was burning? And she couldn't answer it. She stood there and froze. And then they started going on about the budget for the fire service being cut.
Yeah.
How did she feel about cutting the budget to the fire service? And now all of a sudden this has happened while you're in Ghana.
Was it 3 months or 3 weeks before the fire happened that they cut the budget?
Something like that. It was just before the fire. But
and as I say, if you look it up, you'll see the plans for the new smart city that they want to build for LA, which they needed that bit of land that's been completely wiped out. And also,
we also have to bring up all the people who had their insurance drop right before the fire. Like cities of people.
Yeah, it makes you think, how people know this?
Right.
It's very suspicious.
There was a song brought out in the 90s. Do you remember it? CNC Music Factory. Things that make you go,
We need to have that as a sound clip so that we could use that. So every
Yeah.
time we come out with something that like that, we can just play that little sound clip.
Things that make you go, So,
I mean, it's a repeat of Hawaii all over again.
Yeah.
it's
Only
Hawaii.
nobody had. And there was a picture Ellen showed me this morning. There was a picture of one house, not a mark on it, yet the houses either side were dust. Both sides of the house completely gone, and yet this one house, literally nothing wrong with it, not a mark.
And also, one thing else I noticed. I'm just looking for the things that make you go sound. Something else that happened was when I was looking at the videos and the Google things of the fires. None of the trees are burnt. Well, majority of the trees by the buildings that are burnt down didn't burn.
And Malibu as well. They're all beachfront properties. The sea is literally meters away from them. Then there's like a 4-lane road in between that and where the fires were. And yet all of those houses on Malibu Beach went up in smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand of heat transference, but that just seemed a little bit too much.
It is it's very, very strange that this sort of shit happens. That's all I'm going to say. It's very, very strange that all this is going on. And the only thing I could say to it is like,
yeah. And I know 2 years ago when I went over to Corfu, they were having wildfires over there, and they struggled to put them out, and they were lucky that the wind changed direction and they had fire crews at the right places. But in that incident, they actually found 3 people that actually were caught starting the fires. They were paid to start the fires by a property developer. So
wasn't there, if I remember rightly, somebody's supposed to come forward and said, I started the fires in LA, but he started it at, and I'm sure it was P. Diddy's mansion, because isn't there a video or the mansion next door or something? Because there's a video of somebody inside the mansion going, look. Very. All I'm going to say is, like I say, this is not anything that we are making up or doing soundbites on. It's literally just what's on the, it's just on the internet and what's out there. So is all I can say. I'm going to keep that. So yeah, that's
evening,
Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Also, the other thing
Tom.
I want to say is there's a lot of movement going towards full disclosure and UAPs. And I'm not just talking the usual, oh, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I've seen some stuff out there that's made me go. So, you know, I'm going to fuck with this.
It's going to happen 100 more times this episode.
The biggest one I think that's been making the most noise is Dr. Stephen Greer.
Yes, I was looking at one of these things.
He is the one that is making the most noise about this disclosure business.
I've been watching it all year.
Pretty big stuff.
He was saying last year it's going to come to a head, it's going to come to fruition, and he said in December, my whistleblowers I've told to go to ground. They're only in contact with me. They're not in contact with anybody else. Nobody else knows where they are. I'm not going to tell anybody else, and it's going to happen at the beginning of January. And I was watching something today, and he was saying it's coming out very, very soon. So, you know, from one of the things I read was David Grush said in one of the private hearings that he's seen a craft that reminded him of the TARDIS. Wasn't particularly big, didn't really look like a saucer, but when you went inside it, it was the size of 2 football fields. Yeah, just like that one. So again, what do you think? Your son made that, didn't he, with a 3D printer?
Yep.
I like that.
And I got this.
It's one of those things where we're pinning our hopes on this because obviously we've had so-called disclosure for a few years now, and it never seems to amount to anything. And
That's
then
right.
all of a sudden it builds up again, then it sort of quietens down, then it builds up again, then quietens down, and we seem to be going round in circles. But with Dr. Stephen Greer, he seems to be coming out with more stuff that is actually more important and more certain of himself. And I think that's where the crunch is going to be.
Yeah, I followed him for years.
I mean, he's the one that did the whole CE5 thing too. I mean, he's the one that really started branding that, and that was like, I mean, he's not really a scientist. He started off as a lawyer, but it's still to come out and be like, hey, if we can talk to aliens, check this out.
Yeah, well, I've got the CE5.
People are getting results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's stuff coming. I've seen some interesting things about big blips on our long range radar, whatever it is that we follow. We track comets and things, but there's been some big blips of things heading towards the Earth that aren't comets, and they're being tracked, and there's stuff on its way here, so we shall see what it is and if it happens.
That's probably someone sneezed on the radar.
Damn his radar!
Do you remember that Hot Shots?
Yeah.
Was it part 2, wasn't it? The second one, when he sneezed on the radar and said there's thousands of them.
Yeah. I remember the jamming the radar in Spaceballs, and he fires a pot of jam at it. Yeah. Remember that one. But yeah, all this stuff's supposed to be happening, and I've seen a few reports down the rabbit holes of big ships being seen clear as day, and they're just starting to come up. But as soon as one of them comes up, you see a lot of videos come up that are AI. So,
well, they also reckoned that Oumuamua was on its way back as well.
Oumuamua wasn't a rock. Sorry, but Oumuamua was not a rock.
I said this before on another podcast. For a lump of rock to course change itself, then go around the sun, and using the slingshot method, you would build up speed as you go around the sun.
Yeah,
but this did not speed up until after it came round the sun and out the other side. Then it sped up. Now, a piece of rock would not do that if it was going by slingshot.
Just before we start talking about that, Josh, show us your fidget spinner that you sunbathe.
Well,
back a bit. That's it. TR3B, ladies and gentlemen. TR3B.
Lovely.
oh, I got a better one.
That's a bit better.
Oh,
Yeah.
Into the camera. That's cool.
I want one. Tell him to make me one. And wait.
Yeah, so do I.
Everybody watching, before I forget, right? I did this just before Christmas. Right.
You've got orders, Josh.
He's actually starting up an Etsy shop, so
Get your son working, he can pay your college fees.
This is the mascot for the Dark Mirror Radio Show. You guys out there watching need to name him. Now, you've got Arnie, Alf, and we need one more. Josh.
Didn't we suggest Bob as well?
Oh, yeah. Arnie, Alf, Bob, and Josh, you got to say one as well.
Spike.
Arnie, Alf, Bob, and Spike. You guys out there, comment on here, and we will count up the comments, and whoever gets the most votes win.
No, we could do a poll on the group, because that'll be easier to count.
Right. So Arnie, Alf, Bob, and Spike. All right. So we should do that.
If we do a poll, we'll do a poll on the group, and then if people go onto the group and put their choice in there, because it's easier to count rather than keep going to the live feed and going through it.
All right, on it. Got my number.
So yeah. Right now. Okay. Right. What were we going to talk about?
I have aliens on tape.
Sorry?
I have aliens on tape.
Aliens on tape.
I've still got my DVD.
You want me to roll it?
Go on. You're a dick. You're a dick.
I was going to say I was quite disappointed in Aliens Romulus.
Yeah, I actually just watched it actually a night ago with my wife because we had time. And what? Why did it look like that? So like the alien went into the fetus and they like combined. Like we didn't even get any like context and why. Because I mean, there is that one when I was a kid which terrified me, where they took a fetus and then put alien DNA in it, and it had like the human skull in front, and it was like white. I think it was like, I don't remember which one that was.
That was V.
Resurrection, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was V. Yeah, that was V.
No. It was one of the Alien films where they were splicing human DNA with the alien DNA, and it came out with sort of like a half breed, and it all went pear shaped, and it had human characteristics.
Yeah, like a human skull, and it was like white instead of black.
Isn't that?
And it got sucked through.
It came about?
It got sucked through a hole. That's how they killed it. They like shot a hole through the ship, and
it went through a hole in the window, didn't it? And Sigourney Weaver's looking at it, and it's like going, please don't, and then it went straight out the window.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did I watch? I tell you what I did watch. I watched the new Venom film.
I haven't checked that out yet.
Yeah, I quite liked it.
I watched Nosferatu.
I'm watching.
How was that?
Is it all right?
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm glad I didn't pay to go and watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'd have been asking for my money back, because it wasn't as how can I put it? It wasn't as terrifying as what it could have been.
Was it more of an art film than it was a horror movie?
Yeah, I think it was, and I'm sure somewhere along the line I had seen that the director of that is going to be directing the new Labyrinth movie.
Redoing Labyrinth.
I mean, to be honest, I won't watch the new Labyrinth movie simply because if it's not got David Bowie in it, you don't do it.
The Lost Boys.
I feel like there's not a.
No.
It's supposed to have It's supposed to have a Goblin Queen instead of a Goblin King.
Did you say you don't like the Lost Boys?
No, I love the Lost Boys, but
okay. I was like,
no, fucking leave it alone.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen The Crow yet, but I'm sure it's a travesty.
That's not too bad.
And I was like, oh.
You were like, oh.
If literally, I just saw a couple of clips of it, and I was like, I'll give it a go to see if it's because I like The Crow. I'll give it a go, but there's something.
Since we're on movies, and I keep telling you guys to get into it, Helldivers has been doing so good selling that they're actually releasing a movie, which is going to be a complete spoof of like all sci-fi movies. There's a lot of heavily influence from Starship Troopers and Terminator and Aliens, and it's all about you protecting through the road democracy, and it's super cheesy, and like it's funny if you play the game long enough, you start to realize like you kind of like the Empire.
I'm gonna at some point this week. I'm gonna go to my downloads place, and I'm gonna see if I can download it. So yeah.
Which one's that?
Helldivers.
All right.
Helldivers 2.
Well, he sent me Josh actually sent me a version of Helldivers 2, but I think he downloaded the wrong one, because the copy he sent me, when the titles came up, it said Helldivers 2, No Muff, Too Tough, and I thought, no, get rid of that. So, I don't know what you've been watching, mate, but fucking hell. It won't be the same without Bowie. No, it won't. It really, really won't. So yes. Anyway, that's what we were talking about: UFOs and whistleblowers and all the stuff that's supposed to be happening. I'm going to go back to that plonker who says he's from the year and he's on TikTok and says, "I really am a time traveler and I'm from the year 2417 or some shit like that." and he puts up all these dates, and I went back and looked at a load of his stuff. None of it's fucking happened. I think one thing.
You know what? I've reached out to a lot of them guys. Not one time travelers ever came forward and been like, "Yep, I'll do an interview with you."
Strange that.
Why is that? I wonder why.
There is a chap on TikTok I'm trying to get hold of. I can't remember his bloody TikTok on there. Let me have a very, very quick look, see if I can find him. But some of his stuff I was intrigued at because he's very similar to us on the things that we say and come out with. So I just need to try.
I think sometimes what these people are doing is they're coming out with these things because it creates views.
Yeah,
And
there's a whole high of that.
Especially for TikTok, because the more views you get and the more likes you get, the more rewards you get as a creator.
Yeah.
So if you can think of something that's quite controversial that will get the views and the likes, then they'll do it.
Well, like I say, I've watched some of his stuff, and some of it I'm like, yeah, that's spot on. That's what we've talked about. Yeah, I'm just going to see if I can.
I actually had a couple too. People that I have reached out to that have been really convincing that have told me they're like, I don't want to come on camera, but I'm going to tell you right now it's a spiel.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah. They're like, yeah, we're doing this as entertainment, but people just don't catch on.
Yeah. Our true history on TikTok.
Yes, I think I've watched a few of theirs as well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I actually think I might have them on Facebook.
If you have the words,
yeah,
see if we can get him on the show. Because as I say, he seems very similar to us and all our listeners and what we talk about and what we agree on, this, that, and the other. So I think
is that the guy with the goldfish?
No, that's
no.
The Wi-Fi.
No, there's the guy with the talking goldfish, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'm sure his is a wife and husband that actually one's a scientist, like the wife's a scientist, and like the husband's like a paleontologist, if I'm correct.
What, the Wi-Files?
Right? No, the one that you're speaking about is a married couple that one is a scientist and one is like a historian or something, or
archaeologist.
My eyes are really bad. I think. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll message him later, see if he wants to come on. So yeah, but the stuff that's going on at the moment, all the UFOs, the whistleblowers, everything. For those of you who have followed our shows for the last few years, so ever since Josh came on and before that since Wayne came on, you will see everything that's happening now that we have spoken about over the last, God, how long have you been doing it? We've been doing it together, mate. It's about 6 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything that we have spoken about is happening.
Yes, it's the first episode, Joe.
Everything's happening. Yeah, everything that we've spoken about since Josh has been on it is happening. And that's not us. We're not time travelers. We ain't got any special gifts or special powers or anything. Well, I suppose if we got special powers, Wayne's would be flatulent, mine would be my gob, and Josh's would be his beard. So that would be our special powers. But we don't have any future seeing. We don't have any farscaping, anything like that. We just know what we're talking about. We always research everything, and then we'll talk about
the beard.
Say, yeah, everything we talk about has happened or is happening. So just be aware of that everything we've mentioned is happening now. So look out for your UFOs, look out for your UAPs, look out for your skinwalkers, because I think the world's going to go mad. It's already heading their tits up at the moment because there's lots and lots of sightings of not just UFOs and UAPs, but as we've said, skinwalkers, dogmen, doorways opening up, everything. It's all going mad at the moment.
And Dubai chocolate as well.
Yep. And they've also admitted that there were people before us. They've come out and said, yes, there are precursors to us. And these precursors were a lot bigger than us. And oh, look, what did they talk about with skeletons that have been found? Red-haired giants. So, everything we're talking about has happened or is happening now. So all you got to do is do a bit of research and you can find it out, But And as I said before, the one thing that the reason we try and stay clear of the ghosties and stuff on here is because Wayne deals with the ghosties and stuff. Josh deals with the lycanthropy and skinwalkers and cryptozoology, although that's my thing as well, and I do the UFO stuff. Because the ghosty stuff, when you get people the likes of I can't say his name, actually, I better not say his name, but there's people out there who pretend that they have spoken to people who have just died. And famous people who have just died, and then they go, "Oh yeah, I spoke to them, and they said this, and they said that," and I'm just like, "Mate, you're a cunt." Excuse my language. You give people false hope. You give people false hope, and you give loved ones and family false hope. People like that shouldn't be allowed to do it. That's
I've been offered to learn mediumship, actually,
no.
from one of our mutual friends. He kind of said he's going to start working with me. I had him on an episode too last week. William.
If you've got anybody out in the UFO community who wants to come on the show as well, let us know. But just not head cases. There's already 3 head cases here. We don't need any more. And just for you guys out there listening, Josh sometimes may not be on the show because of his bike stuff that he's doing at college. So just to let you know, he hasn't left. He's part of the team. Will always be part of the team, but he won't be on as often. But he's going to come on as often as he can.
Right on.
I remember
Then we're going to do
show as well. Go and watch it. Through the rabbit hole, isn't it?
Lost Through the Rabbit Hole. With how school is going, I'm probably going to have episodes on Fridays, Saturdays. It's looking like. You guys are always welcome to come on and to like co-host too, whenever you want.
We've finished doing some bits and bobs. I've got to finish off doing the kitchen. As soon as that's done, I'll be able to come on and join you and stuff. So
all right,
but I'm sure Mr. Wayne will as well. He'll come on and join us and be farting and everything. So yeah, it'll be good. I missed the fart when you do him and your missus walks past and goes, "Ugh," and then has to go out in the hallway. I missed that.
I'll tell you, the only thing that's going on here at the moment is dog farts. They absolutely stink. And I'm one of them's in the living room barking his head off. And all I can smell when he barks is this horrible waft that's come from the living room down the hallway and into the kitchen. Everybody else is all upstairs, either asleep or having a bath, and yet me downstairs, I'm the one getting gassed.
Well, look at it this way. At least you got somebody you can blame now. You can do your and then look at the dog go, "God's sake!
That damn dog!"
Well, like you do now.
Oh, and for those of you out there who have been sending messages and stuff, Ghost is absolutely fine. She's downstairs at the moment. She's wearing a pastel, different coloured hoodie at the moment, so to keep her warm. But she's absolutely fine. She's full of spirits, and she's actually got pajamas and stuff now as well. Because she gets cold and shivers, so we put her in pajamas. Yeah, but no, she's all good. She's cool. Back to the aliens. You guys out there who are watching, you guys here in the chat room and everything, what do you think is going to happen this year? Hi, Jill. What do you reckon is going to happen this year, aliens-wise? Do you reckon? I'm sorry. This is the first show of the year. Let me start this again. What do you reckon is going to happen, aliens-wise? Josh, that includes you, dude.
I personally think it's going to be
What
the
is
same
that guy's
shit we got last year.
Mark?
In fact, this is the
I
first
thought about that. What if that crazy haired bastard comes on and is like, "That guy is stealing my catchphrase"? Dark Beer Radio.
aliens.
Yeah.
I've always said it.
I know. I said, what if that one guy from Gaia comes on here and is like, "They stole my catchphrase"?
No, I'm known as the aliens guy. That's my moniker. And I
You
don't
know what I'm talking about? The one that with the crazy hair?
Tsoukalos, isn't it? Is that his name? Georgios Tsoukalos.
I just know him as the crazy hair guy.
He comes on the show. We don't make any money, so we can't pay anybody to come on the show. But anybody who would like to just come on the show and chat with us nutters, they're more than welcome to. But Georgios Tsoukalos, I'd love to have him on the show and go, "I'm ever so sorry, but I do say the word aliens, and I've said it for years, and I'm known as the aliens guy. You stole my moniker!" I want one of his badges. I'd love one of those badges he's got, the ancient aliens label.
Yeah.
I'd absolutely love one of those because a lot of his stuff.
Send it to me.
Huh?
Send me a picture of it.
Well, a lot of the stuff he talks about, I agree with, and it's all the stuff we've spoken about and said, yeah, this shit has happened, so it's quite good. I want one of those fidget spinners as well.
I'll try. This was like a happy mistake. Printed wrong.
Isn't that what you said about your children?
Oh. No, in case you're watching, no, every one of you was planned.
Yes, Taylor, you were both planned. So anyway, back to the
moving on.
I'm just seeing what Jill said. You should invite Marianne Faresh sometimes as a guest on show. These topics she has a connection personally with the alien community. And feels like an awakening is arising. We shall see. Everybody said that. Every fucking thing I've said. Everybody said there's an awakening. Those of us who believe, and apparently it's only those of us who believe. I'm going to bring this a bit forward because my light is a bit dim. Everybody has said that our the believers, not non-believers, our vibrational frequency. Is that better or is that better? Yeah.
So.
Everybody said that believers, our vibrational frequency has changed, and that's why we're starting to see a lot more stuff because it's the ones who believe. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I think we're seeing a lot more stuff because I think our cousins from other planets up there have got fed up with our governments stalling. Have gone, do you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to show everybody we're at.
What do you take about all the information with Congress was told about they're not above us, they're in our oceans?
I reckon that's half right. I reckon there are ones in the oceans. I don't reckon every single thing we've seen are from under the crust of the earth or under the oceans. I reckon everything that we've seen is from out there, possibly under the crust of the earth, and possibly from the oceans.
And interdimensional too.
I think some of it as well is that they have come here from further away and they've gone into the oceans because the oceans is the safest place for them to be at the moment. Because if you look at it, when NASA first started exploration, they were exploring the seas. And then all of a sudden, for some unknown reason, they stopped exploring the seas and started doing space exploration.
He said to say, aliens! Don't know why. Carry on.
So could it be that that's the reason why NASA stopped exploring the oceans, is because the aliens that have come here have gone to the oceans out the way. NASA have found them. They've been told stay away. And so NASA have gone, okay, fine, fair enough. We'll see you later. We're off.
Yeah.
And they've gone on to space exploration instead. Now, with a lot of these UAPs they're seeing, they're coming out of the ocean or going into the ocean.
That's right, yeah.
So maybe that's their sort of recon thing. They're coming out of the oceans, they're having a look around, seeing what's going on, then going back. Because that's their safe haven.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the whole Admiral Byrd story just keeps ringing in my ears every time we talk about this. That's where I'm trying to get at. I mean, we started talking about how we discovered this new ocean with, our oceans are inside of another ocean underneath the crust. And I don't know, they're kind of all levies with what he was talking about in this journal too, which is scary because what if we're starting to pollute that ocean and they're all like, hey, we told you, we gave you time to fix who you were, but
well,
I mean,
obviously, to get rid of the mice.
I mean, obviously, the entrance to the subterranean levels in Antarctica is just one area. But just like on the surface, you have different continents. And on those different continents, you've got different nations.
Yeah.
So there could be another subterranean area underneath North America, another one under Canada. There could be another half a dozen in Europe. And they could be all over the world. We just haven't found the entrances from the surface into the subterranean areas.
There's a lot of stories about LA and underground people in the underground cities. I don't know if you ever heard about that. Back in when the welding first came out, they talked about people, they could hear people underneath their feet.
Well,
There's that guy that found like tunnels underneath LA, like that went way down.
Yeah.
there's a whole city down there.
Well, it's the same as like the Paris
What city just
catacombs,
went
isn't
up
it?
in flames?
Well,
What city just went up in flames?
yeah.
Same one. I think that's the whole allegory too, with like how everything it's all like all of our celebrities are starting to look like they're involved in criminal empires and
Yeah.
sex trafficking, and now the city's burning. I mean, of course, you know the religious nuts are all like, "See, we told you, California."
I think all this stuff that's coming out. Right, my personal take, and for those of you who haven't seen the show for a little while, we've all said all these drones that are here now. I think ever since they've gone poof and they've been all over the place, I think that those are a smokescreen from the Bobberments to cover up what's actually in the skies, because there's so many we can't turn around and go, that's alien, that's from under the earth, that's from the sea. Or it's so much crap going on. It's now a smokescreen where we go.
Yeah,
But this
I think
is
it's something other than that. I think they know something's coming, and they're gonna fucking try to fool us all, and our governments are gonna come together and be like, "We need all this money from all you guys, so we can build up this correlated defense budget from every nation around the planet, not just NATO, because there is somebody coming here, and we need this and this and this." And then they're just gonna be like six bastards getting rich off all of us.
Yeah, and it'll be, we want one government, a one world government, a one world nation. They're going to do that as well. I'll bet you.
Yeah. And then dudes are gonna show up here and be like, "No, we didn't come to fight. We would have just blew up your planet. These guys are liars." Like, no, we need to nuke them.
Yeah, no. And
1995 from all of you, we could nuke them.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I will say. Like, if we get watched by our cousins from other planets and stuff, I'm going to say, most of us here on Earth, we don't want any wars. We don't want any nuclear weapons. We don't want any fallout with any other nation, let alone fallout from people from other planets. So, no, we don't want a war with you. No, we don't want nuclear weapons. I don't agree with them. I'm ex-army. I'm in the reserves now. Wayne's ex-RAF. He doesn't agree with them. No, most people don't agree with nuclear weapons or biological or chemical. I do agree we should have guns and bombs and shit to protect ourselves against other aggressors, but none of us want a war with anybody else, and none of us want a war with anybody who's coming from another planet to help us. So, and the majority of us know damn well our governments lie through their teeth, and they all do shit just to either get money or start a war, because they know if they start a war, they will make lots of money through the sale of armaments. So that's the only reason they do it. So yeah, if you're listening, none of us want a war. The governments may do, but they're dickheads. We're not. We don't want a war. It's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's also humbling that Earth, nature, the universe will remind us how easily they can take us out, as in they as in everything outside of ourselves. Just goes to show you how small we are in the whole universe too. Yeah, exactly. And the Bobberments of this world seem to think that we're all idiots and we don't know what they're doing, and we don't know that they say this because of this. And they all do that. Look at this hand, look at this hand, look at this hand, and nobody sees what this hand's doing, The drones are right there now.
The problem is that what are the people that think that an alien race would come here to harm us, or what they don't seem to realise is that if they're coming here, then it's quite possible they could be anything from 300 years or more advanced than us, which would mean that if we were to use a nuclear weapon against them, that'd be like throwing a paper plane at them.
I like the Mars attack effect, where they do that and then they just smoke the nuke. They laugh at us.
In essence, that's what it would be, because you'd think they'd have been through that nuclear weapon phase. They would have also realised how to utilise the energy from a nuclear bomb in their favour, and that 300 years would have given them plenty of time to figure that one out.
Look at Mars.
But
Or unless we're just the crazy bastards in the universe that's why nobody came here because they're like, the idiots are playing with the fire again. Yep, roll out the windows when you go past Earth.
The thing is, though, is if anything is coming here, they're not going to be just a couple of 100 years ahead of us. They're going to be a couple of 1,000 years ahead of us.
Exactly.
You know, so their technology is going to be so much superior to ours that the harm is the most harmful weapons we could ever possibly imagine wouldn't make a dent on them.
And a lot of the stuff Congress was talking about too with interdimensional means that they are literally in other higher dimensions of plane than us. Like it'd be like Mario trying to fight us from playing him. It's literally like, if you think about it, it's literally like there's an ocean here for us that's not there for them, right?
Yeah.
Let's just come down and go, bink, that's the human race ending.
Yeah. And as I say, none of us here, unless you're one of these fuck yeah, let's have a war idiots, none of us want a war. We don't. None of us want a war. I agree with us being armed.
None of us want a war with each other, let alone an alien race.
No, exactly. No, you know, we come in peace. Shoot to kill. Yeah, it should be we come in peace. These idiots that we voted to power are all corrupt anyway. So.
That done it already. Sure.
Yeah.
If they want to harm us, they would have done it already. Yeah. Look at the Battle for New York, which is what the film The Battle for LA was based on. A real event that happened during the Second World War in New York. A craft hovered above New York, and it had a shield around it. And they turned all their ACAT guns and all their 50 calibers and everything on this damn thing. Fired off thousands of shots. It was in the newspaper with photos and everything. Nothing harmed it, and you could see.
Are you sure that was New York and not LA? Because I'm sure it was over the Hollywood Hills.
No, the film was The Battle for LA.
Yeah, me too.
Battle of New York.
Do you think that was even real?
I don't. I think that was. I think it was just
going on. Do you think it was possible too? That was like a black budget program testing out something right there on the military.
I personally think it was. I mean, I was told it was LA. It was over the Hollywood Hills, and I think it was. I think it was a black budget project, but the rest of the military wasn't told about it. And so when they caught it and they got it in the spotlights, they started firing at it because no one was aware of what it was.
I think it was intentionally flown over that military base too to be like, hey, let's see what this thing can do. It can stand up to artillery rounds.
Let me have a look.
I remember in the story, it was shell after shell. It was like hours of them bombarding this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just nothing happened.
Yeah, it just disappeared, didn't it?
Yeah.
They didn't ever shoot it down, regardless of the amount of anti-aircraft fire. They never shot it down, and yet they fired so much at it, nothing happened to it. So whatever it was impervious to anything that we threw at it.
I'm just having a look now, but it's all full of modern stuff. I know it's on there because I've seen it. I've read the article about it. I'll find it and put it up on the Dark Mirrors wall anyway. But yeah, every time it hit, like when you see Star Trek and they're firing the phasers out of the ships, and you see the shield light up when the phasers get hit. It did this, and there was a photo taken exactly as it lit up, and you could see all these fucking explosions on this shield, and the things just sat there like.
That's another thing that was talked about in Congress, too, that there's been a lot of weird things with energy fields that pilots been seeing. They've been seeing visible energy shields on these things that they see. Not the drones, the stuff the pilots have seen in the skies over the past few years. Trump even talked about that a little bit when somebody talked to him about aliens in one of his recent interviews.
I stand corrected. You're all correct. It was the Battle for LA. Why did I think it was New York?
I don't know. I've been told you that the last time, too.
Why did I think it was for New York?
Every time you've mentioned New York and you've gone Battle for
You're
New
thinking
York,
of Montauk.
Are you sure it was
You're
Battle
thinking
for
of
New York?
Montauk.
You're getting confused with Independence Day.
I think he's thinking of like the Montauk Project.
Oh, it could
that's
be,
New York.
Yeah. Because I know there's a lot of stuff happens along the coastline.
The Philadelphia projects. Yeah.
There was when all this business with the drones came up, there was a TikTok went out that the ship that was used in the Philadelphia experiment had reappeared again.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, hang on a minute. It didn't disappear it disappeared and then came back, but it didn't disappear again.
Yeah.
So when did it disappear for the second time to come back during this business with the drones?
That would have been wild if we just somebody saw it like phase through for a minute, got it on camera. Like it came to the future and then went back.
Well, when it was found like 17 miles down the coast, wasn't it? When it disappeared.
With guys fused to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It came back like all fused to the deck.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this proved my point all those years ago that for every authentic video that goes out onto social media, thousands of crap videos and blatantly obvious fake videos go out there to try and push the other one out so that you don't get to see the truth.
You have just proved my point. This whole drones business, most of them are man-made and most of them are piloted. Did you read that thing I sent you guys about that UAP pilot that was heard on the Squawk? He was overheard talking on the radio, saying, "I've been hit. I need to bail out." And he found it hilarious. Landed in the water next to another guy because one of the U.S. Navy ships was firing at them. He knew he was going to get hit, and he bailed out. And another one bailed out, and him and his mate got short, and they were pissing themselves laughing. They were black ops, and they've been paid to fly these drones to confuse the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So it proves the point that there's something going on out there, and they're using a smoke screen to cover that up by generating something else to cover its tracks. And this is what Project Bluebeam was all about.
Yep. Well, they said it was going to be a fake UFO invasion, but they never said how or what. So I read we said from day one when these drones started being seen, didn't we? We said, fuck off, that's man-made.
Yeah. And
it's to cover something up. I reckon we've got visitors here, but because of all this shit going on, we don't know which is real and which isn't.
The funny thing was as well was I'd seen videos where they had shot, so a couple of the unmanned ones had been shot down, and there was visible markings on the underneath, on the undercarriage.
Yeah.
And they were written in English and Arabic.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it was English and Hebrew, sorry, not Arabic, but Hebrew. And then there's another one shortly after where the circuit boards were pulled out from inside one of these drones.
Yeah.
And it was clearly made by human beings because it had the telltale chips and the solder points and all the lines going from one to the other. And they're saying, this is human made. We've made this. So, no, it's not alien. But you see videos on social media where people have got normal drones and they've made them look like witches on a broomstick. Or Superman flying backwards and forwards.
Or the cat. You ever see somebody that took a cat and did it?
So we know that if just a simple household drone can be made into something that looks like something else by an artist or whatever, it's easy for a Boberman to do the same.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm just
on a bigger scale.
As soon as I find it,
remember that.
Carry on talking.
He's looking for the link. So,
I mean, that's true. I mean, if we see stuff like this and stuff, I mean, there really is like somebody that comes and explains it. It takes away the whole shock value too.
Yeah,
I mean, that's part of the reason why. But I don't really ever feel like the government does much to try to help us.
I mean, that's the worst part. Is if they try to fake something and they get found out, they've got to think of cover excuses. They've got to cover their tracks somehow. And at the moment, they haven't been able to do that because they've been found out.
Right.
They should be looking for excuses and they're not. So they'll try and blindside us with something else. Instead of coming out with the reasons behind why they did what they did, they will then fake something else or create something else so that we divert away from that subject. Like, say, for instance, the LA fires.
Yeah.
We won't be talking about the drones at the moment because we're too busy worrying about the fires in LA. You know?
Lockheed Martin is also making the other thing that was released that Lockheed Martin is also making stuff in the ocean, which I did not know that they have drones, active ocean drones, and it hardly gets talked about. But there's ones that also run off water.
That's right. That's right.
Think about the application of that. So it's in water, but its fuel source is water.
Well, that was the whole premise for the film, The Battle for LA, wasn't it? It was there after our seawater to propel their craft.
Yeah. I've seen the car Jill was talking about, and I'm sure it was solar powered, but it is just basically a huge drone with a capsule in the middle and made look like a car. And it's the world's first official flying car that will actually be built and be able to be used. It looked pretty smart, but I don't think I want the bill.
I can't find that link at the moment. What I will do is I'll peruse through all my stuff later on, and when I find it, I'll stick it up on the Dark Mirrors wall for you to have a look at. I sent it to a couple of people. I'm sure I sent it to you too. I'm absolutely sure I did.
Probably.
The one about
I've seen the Millennium Falcon drone as well.
I have. I want it, and I've seen the speeder biker drone, and I was like, oh, I got a little stiff watching that. It was so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, these UFOs. So then, because we'll have to finish in a minute, the UFOs that we're seeing at the moment, the drones, bullshit. Most of them are man-made, and it's a smokescreen. However, the ships that are being seen, not the AI crap that we're being bombarded with, the actual real ones, we have got something coming. I think it's good. I think it is going to change everything we know as we know on Earth at the moment. But so did COVID. Everything changed because we went a lot cleaner, safer, and stuff like that. Doesn't mean the end of anything. Just means that it just. Oh, so what? It just means that we will know that we're not alone in the galaxy, and after all these years, we'll know they're here, and we'll also know that the Bobbermans have lied to us, like they do anyway. All this horse shit, they don't exist. Yes, they fucking do. You've been working with them for years, so don't give us none of that crap. So, what do you think? The final thoughts of the day for the first show of the year. Go. What do you think? Do you think they will be here?
No.
I think they're already here. I think they've been for a long, long time before us.
I don't think we're going to see them. Not this year. I think it's going to be stalled. Something's going to stall them from appearing, and I think it'll be next year.
I don't know.
What do you think? Right, I'm thinking either this year or 2027 because of everything that we've watched and seen and read. Everybody has said it's either this year or 2027. Or this year is going to be the start of the preparation, laying down the ground rules of preparation, and we're going to start seeing so much more stuff. What do you make of that one?
Yeah, I mean they did say either 25 or 27, but I think there is that the world is stalling. The Bobberments are stalling. Yeah. So I think it's going to delay things, and I think it's going to be, instead of 25 to 27, it's going to be 26 to 28.
Right? What do you say?
I hope it's this year, but we'll see. We'll see. I imagine too, if anybody does come here, our governments or Bobberments are going to tell us that it's a threat, and they need the almighty dollar to save everybody.
Yeah. The UK government, our government will be straight up America's ass going, oh yes, we need some money too, because Keir Starmer's a prick. Anyway,
we'll be like, oh, we'll just put some more. Don't worry, we got you.
I do not think for one.
Nobody's currency's worth anything anymore. Like
there'll be a worldwide telethon.
Oh, there will be, won't they? Oh my god, they'll be like the new version of Band-Aid, Alien Aid. Jesus. I don't think
Alien Aid.
I don't think they're coming here to harm us. But
They have like U2 having like raising money and stuff. Yeah.
Alienate 2025.
I don't know if
Phone this number and donate now.
I tell you what, Jill. One thing I will say:
You are the savior of the planet.
our government has stuff that's 90 years advance of anything we've got now, and the Black Ops have got stuff that's 300 years in advance of anything we've got now. If they actually came out and told the truth and let us have this tech, we wouldn't be in half the shit we're in. On that note, I should say that's it for this week, and we'll be back next week. I'm trying to get some guests on for the year, but we want some really interesting guys from UFO and cryptozoology and stuff like that. So if anybody's interested in coming on, send either one of us a message. We're on YouTube. We've got the show. We have an email address. You can see it scrolling along the bottom there. The Dark Mirror Radio Show at yahoo.co.uk. Or as I say, message myself or Josh or Wayne. And if you see anything out there, take a picture. When I say if you see anything, take a picture, I mean UFOs, not a dick pic. Okay? So UFOs welcome, dick pics not. No. I mean, Josh might like them, I don't know, but no.
No. Send them over to Mark.
No, send it to Wayne. But yeah, we'll be back next Monday, and Josh will join us as often as he can because he's like doing some really good shit with motorbikes now. So yay. So on that note, thank you very much for joining us, guys. Thank you very much everybody in the chat room and who's been out there watching. Quickly plug your shows before we go. Josh, go.
Check out Lost to the Rabbit Hole with my new schedule. I'll probably be on Fridays and Saturdays.
What format does it go out on?
YouTube.
Right.
Or check the Dark Mirror walls. I always post when I'm going to have a live. And that being said, if anybody wants, you have a cryptid story or paranormal, wacky adventure, or there's something out there that happened to you near death, hit me up.
Okay. Near death. Whenever you come over here and meet us, if Wayne's eating something that's dodgy, you'll have a near death experience with his ass.
That's only Boar Burgers. Anyway, yeah, Thursday night, Mystical Carousel show at 9 p.m. And then on Friday, we have Fools and Ghouls at 8 p.m., where we talk all weird things, ghostly and hilarious, and just basically enjoy ourselves with various guests within the paranormal community. Also, now soon will be the arrival of Wayne's Weird and Wonderful World, which will be starting within the next couple of weeks as a pre-recorded show about weird animals, plants, or from this earth and from beyond. It's just an episode of total weirdness of things that people don't really take any notice of.
Like tardigrades.
Well, the first episode is the Dragon Blood Tree.
Actually, I know what that tree is. And I know about you also want to get the rainbow eucalyptus in there as well. Anyway, right. On that note, guys, we will see you all next Monday. Remember, you can join us on Facebook, YouTube. We have TikTok and Instagram and fuck knows what else. We have lots of things. We have a website. We do everything. But yeah, keep your eyes to the skies. If you see it, say it, take a picture, drop us your messages, and we'll be sure to mention it on the show. Everybody, see you later. Happy New Year, and we'll be back.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Toodles.
Toodles.